Good afternoon. Just want to talk about asset integrity, data gathering and manipulation from home. The first thing I want to say on this is that there's an obsession with people wanting people like myself in an office, but often our setups at home are far better than the computers that are made available to us and the equipment around them. For example, monitors, I know with Carillion I got a little 10-inch laptop where I'm supposed to analyze data on it on an old version of Microsoft Office, which even on the first contract, the data coming out of the NHS hospital was on the latest version of Microsoft Office, so it couldn't even open it. And not that it could open it because it was an older laptop as well. Now, not that I'm grumbling, I'm just stating the fact that these are the sort of issues I come across on a regular basis. In my office, I'm sat in front of my iMac here. I've got another 32-inch screen to my side of me, which runs off my 3 servers in the background for data crunching, running macros, etc. A lot of things that you may not have as a client. The same as I've already mapped a lot of data. I've already got a lot of things that are set up on my systems that I've developed myself. What this means for you is often you may end up with a better service purely because I have a lot more information than often clients do because I specialize in this. Now, the other side of this being is I get more time to work on your projects if working from home. At Birmingham University, I went into the office for mainly on the last weeks to do some of the surveying, but predominantly I work from home. But one of the things I did see when I worked from going into the office is I had to be up at 6:30 in the morning to get to the office for 8:30. You then have that first engagement with everybody in the office to find out about access issues and the day-to-day stuff, what's going on in the office, what's happening with software. And then obviously I wouldn't get home till about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. So personally, I lost about 5 hours a day on things that I really didn't need to be doing. But there are things you have to do sometimes. I mean, in that case, I was actually doing some on-site surveys, some sampling to identify where there were some key elements for the surveys, but also to give some benchmarking for other surveys to follow. But other contracts just want you in the office to do data manipulation and data collection, data analyzing, and quite simply, you don't need it. It actually is more practical for me to do it from home. First thing is, I've already got things like SFG20 mapped. I've already got Uniclass mapped. I've already got logbooks I've actually written myself. I've got an asset integrity framework I have written myself. There's a lot of stuff that may not exist in your business I already have. And I'm not giving it to you because it's been developed over a long period of time. It's not freebies. But at the same time, it does speed up me developing your asset data. In the same way, because I'm not getting up at 6:30 in the morning, but instead getting up at 7:30, I'm a lot more switched on. And as soon as I start work at 8:30, 9 o'clock, it's basically, I'm already geared up for it, a cup of tea's on the desk, I'm away, and I basically will work through the contract. I also find, like with Nice, with an NHS contract, because I knew they had surveyors out surveying Monday to Friday, Thursday, Friday were busy days because it's when the surveyors actually got back to the house and uploaded their data. So Tuesday, Wednesday, I might actually turn around and say, well, there's only like a couple hours work here, and I would move the hours to the end of the week, because then I may work till 11 o'clock at night on Friday, I may work till 11 o'clock at night on Thursday, or I may do it on Saturday, so everything is finished for Monday. That can be easily manipulated because I'm working from home. If I'm going into the office every day, I'm not working the weekends. I'm not an employee for a start, but I do it because the contract requires it as a courtesy. because I'm not contract bound to do that. It's just the fact is I know the contract obligations have a set timeline, and for me, I'm always trying to push ahead of the timeline. With Birmingham University, that project was finished on budget and also 2 weeks early. And generally, that's how I try to work. I try to push the contract ahead. I've had it before where some people say, "Oh, you do too many hours." Don't worry about it. I'm not actually costing you any more money. I'm on a flat rate anyway. But what you do find is if I do a Saturday and Sunday, at the end of the contract, you've actually taken a Thursday and Friday off because I'm reducing it from the end of the contract. I do this as a speciality. I focus on this. I know when data's missing. I know when you have multiple surveyors. I've done the data for up to 30 surveyors at one time, analysing what they've been surveying, what's missing, trying to mentor and teach them how to do it properly as well, because sometimes it's down to the fact that nobody's trained them. And sometimes I get flack because obviously a lot of people don't like being told what to do, but at the same time they're saying, look, this is what it needs to be done like. This is a process. This is getting everybody to do exactly the same. And I've done this for a decade. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is to say, please recognize the fact you don't need me in an office. I'm better off working from here. I'm also available for smaller contracts. So if you needed me to look at your spreadsheets for one day as a one-off thing, you can do that. You can send it over. I'll be honest with you, it'll be a premium. It's a flat rate premium on that. But at the same time, if you need me on a long-term contract, I'm also cheaper from working from my home in Spain. Now, the tax issue as well, that's another thing people think. I'm still taxed in the UK. Don't worry about that. The UK tax recognise me as paying tax in the UK. Believe me, they want my money just like they want yours. So even with that, not a problem. I'm still taxed in the UK. I still have I'm set up there with a umbrella company, so all the tax that's dealt with. So everything's above board, everything's legal, but ultimately you're getting the contract on time and done properly. But ultimately, I want to stay in Spain. I'm happy here. I don't really want to be going into London or whatever unless I have to. I've done it for a long time. I've been doing facilities management for over 25 years. I've been on the road for a long time. I know with the NHS, when Carillion, in 1 year I spent 9 months in Premier Inn. So it's not a case of, you just don't want to do it. It's the fact is, I've done it. What I'm trying to do is save you money, because most of the contracts coming forward these days are pretty tight on the cash. And quite simply, if you get me out of Spain, it costs more money. You're going to pay for accommodation, you're going to pay for my travel, you're going to pay for my fuel. But if I'm in Spain, fixed day rate. Simple as that. It's fixed. And it's a little bit cheaper doing it from Spain. Because I don't need to come into the UK. Because when I come into the UK, it costs me money as well. I have to pay for flights, I have to sort accommodation. And at the end of the day, I don't really want to be there. I'm quite happy working from Spain. Benefits you, benefits me. Thanks for watching.